We live in a society obsessed with the relentless pursuit of performance and success. We are constantly pressured to do more, be more, and achieve more. But at what cost? Stress, anxiety, and burnout have become part of our daily lives. In this first video of a two-part series, we will explore the timeless teachings of Lao Tzu, one of the greatest sages of Taoist philosophy, and understand how concepts such as detachment, contentment, and simplicity can help us find inner peace in a chaotic world. If you're ready to discover a path of balance, acceptance, and harmony with the natural flow of life, this video is for you. Don't forget to check out the second video, where we'll delve even deeper into the secrets of Taoism. The modern world is driven by achievements, self-optimization, and the constant feeling that we can, and must, always do more. This often glorified model turns us into our own taskmasters, pushing us continuously to exceed limits, without ever allowing us a moment of real rest or reflection. This mindset comes at a high price. Stress, anxiety, burnout, and depression are no longer exceptions. They have become woven into the fabric of our lives. Sleepless nights filled with worries about what still needs to be done are followed by mornings where we wake up already submerged in endless to-do lists. We are trapped in a cycle of tasks, goals, and obligations that keep us always moving, but rarely at peace. As much as this frenetic pace may seem unavoidable, it leads us down a dangerous path, from collective self-exploration to collective self-destruction. We are living in a world that rewards constant effort, but completely ignores the emotional, physical, and spiritual costs this imposes. We are encouraged to chase success at any price, whether it's a high-ranking job, a perfect body, an enviable social life, or impressive milestones to display on social media. Yet, this relentless pursuit often leaves us disconnected from what truly matters: our inner peace. This scenario is a nightmare for any practitioner of Taoism, a philosophy that values harmony with the natural flow of life. Lao Tzu, the great Taoist sage and author of the Tao Te Ching, warned of the dangers of fighting against the natural rhythm of the universe. He taught us that when we stray from the organic pace of life, we lose the ability to experience true tranquility. Modern society, with its obsession with control, status, and consumption, has forgotten what it means to live in peace. We are so busy chasing results that we no longer appreciate moments of calm, reflection, and simplicity. However, ancient Taoist sages left us a rich legacy of wisdom that can help us reverse this disconnection. These lessons, though recorded over 2,000 years ago, remain incredibly relevant. The Taoists also lived in a time of great tension, marked by social pressures and deviations from natural laws. They chose to seek a different path, one that valued balance, acceptance, and simplicity. Lao Tzu, in particular, gifted us with teachings that go against the tide of relentless effort. He showed us that by letting go of control, we can find a fuller and more harmonious life. As we explore the teachings of Taoism, we can find valuable alternatives for dealing with the stress and chaos of the modern world. Lao Tzu's wisdom offers us an invitation to rethink how we live, allowing us to rediscover what it means to be truly at peace. In the next steps of this journey, we will see how this philosophy can help us break the cycle of self-exploitation and live more consciously and balanced. Taoist philosophy, embodied in the teachings of Lao Tzu, offers a radical alternative to the frenzy of modern life: the power of detachment. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu presents us with the concept of the Tao, described as a universal and eternal force that permeates everything that exists. The Tao cannot be seen, heard, or fully explained, but it can be felt, when we let go of our attempts to control and intellectually comprehend the world. Taoism teaches that harmony with the Tao is achieved by flowing with life rather than fighting against it. It is a philosophy of simplicity, acceptance, and non-interference. Lao Tzu believed that excessive effort and obsession with results are sources of suffering. He wrote that true strength lies not in rigidity, but in softness. Just as water can carve stone with no apparent effort, we too can find great power by adapting to circumstances rather than resisting them. Attachment is one of the main factors that keep us trapped in suffering, and modern society is a fertile ground for this trap. We have been conditioned to value wealth, status, and external validation as pillars of success and happiness. However, Lao Tzu warns us of the dangers of attachment, emphasizing that it leads to an endless cycle of dissatisfaction and anxiety. He writes in the Tao Te Ching, "He who is attached to things will suffer greatly. He who hoards will suffer great losses. A contented man is never disappointed." These words echo a universal truth. When we become attached to wealth, status, or validation, we create an emotional dependency that makes us vulnerable. The joy these elements bring is temporary, and the fear of losing them can be paralyzing. No matter how much we have, the pursuit of more never feels enough, because the void we try to fill is not outside of us. It is within. The pursuit of wealth is a clear example. Money, without a doubt, is a useful tool, but it is often elevated to a status it does not deserve. People exhaust themselves to accumulate more, believing that wealth will bring security or happiness. However, even those who achieve great fortunes often find themselves trapped in a cycle of worry. How to maintain what they have, how to protect it, how to obtain more. As Lao Tzu observes, the more wealth you possess, the harder it is to protect it. This truth reflects the illusory nature of the security we believe we find in the accumulation of material possessions. The same holds true for the pursuit of fame. In a world where validation on social media and public attention are seen as achievements, many people dedicate their lives to standing out, to being noticed. However, fame is fleeting, and maintaining it can be exhausting. Those who achieve it often report feeling more isolated and insecure than ever, fearing they will fade into obscurity or be replaced. The obsession with staying relevant can lead to desperate and often self-destructive actions. Lao Tzu invites us to rethink these priorities. He asks, fame or self? What is more important? Gain or loss? What is more painful? These questions challenge us to reflect on what we truly value and whether our choices bring us closer to or further from our inner peace. When we place fame, wealth, or any external validation above ourselves, we sacrifice our emotional and spiritual stability. The antidote to this suffering is contentment. To be content does not mean giving up on growth or striving for improvement, but rather finding gratitude and satisfaction in what we already have. It is accepting that happiness does not depend on external achievements, but on an internal state of wholeness. Lao Tzu writes, "Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you." Contentment is not passivity, it is freedom. It is recognizing that by freeing ourselves from attachment, we become more resilient in the face of life's inevitable changes. Wealth may come and go. Fame may rise or fade. But when we are rooted in contentment, we remain unshaken. One of the central themes of the Tao Te Ching is the futility of trying to control everything. Lao Tzu invites us to reflect. Fame or self? What is more important? Self or wealth? What is more valuable? Gain or loss? What is more painful? These questions force us to confront our priorities and recognize that many of the things we pursue, fame, wealth, status, are fleeting illusions that do not bring true happiness. On the contrary, attachment to these things often plunges us into suffering. For Lao Tzu, detachment is not just a mental practice, but a way of being in the world. When we let go of expectations and stop clinging to outcomes, we find a freedom that transcends external circumstances. He reminds us that inner peace does not come from achieving something outside of ourselves, but from accepting the present moment exactly as it is. In the modern world, the philosophy of detachment can seem counterintuitive. We are constantly conditioned to seek more success, more material goods, more recognition. But as Lao Tzu teaches us, this relentless pursuit only increases our suffering. Detachment, on the other hand, invites us to abandon the need to control the uncontrollable and to cultivate acceptance. It teaches us that by freeing ourselves from the desire to possess and dominate, we can experience a profound sense of contentment. A clear example of the power of detachment is how we deal with loss. Whether it is the loss of a job, a relationship, or an opportunity, we often suffer because we cling to the idea of how things should be. Lao Tzu reminds us that life is impermanent and that everything is in constant change. When we accept this reality, we can release what no longer serves us and make room for new possibilities. Additionally, detachment helps us live more simply. Instead of continually seeking things we think we need, we begin to realize that we already have enough. Lao Tzu stated, "He who knows when to stop will encounter no trouble. He will stay safe forever." This safety does not come from accumulating possessions or status, but from finding satisfaction in the present. By embracing the power of detachment, we are not only reducing suffering, but also aligning ourselves with the natural flow of the universe. When we stop fighting against the current, we discover that life becomes lighter and more harmonious. This state of harmony is what Lao Tzu describes as living in tune with the Tao. In the modern world, where we are bombarded with infinite possibilities, the idea of simplicity is often underestimated. We are encouraged to accumulate, achieve, and display our accomplishments and possessions. However, as Lao Tzu teaches, this path often leads to dissatisfaction, competition, and exhaustion. He writes, "If you overvalue talented individuals, people will become excessively competitive. If you overvalue possessions, people will begin to steal. Do not display your treasures, or people will become envious." These words reflect the problems of a society that idolizes achievements and material goods. When we overvalue success and wealth, we create an environment where extreme competition becomes the norm. This mentality not only generates constant anxiety and pressure, but also fosters unethical behaviors such as manipulation, corruption, and even exploitation. The relentless pursuit of validation and status turns us into slaves of a system that never allows us to rest. Lao Tzu suggests that the solution lies in simplicity. He invites us to imagine a life free from the demands of modern society, where we do not need to prove our worth or accumulate possessions to find happiness. By embracing simplicity, we renounce the need for self-optimization in every aspect of life, and allow ourselves to live more authentically and peacefully. Simplicity does not mean deprivation, it means clarity. It is a return to what is essential, a rediscovery of what truly matters. Often, we lose ourselves in our incessant desires for more. More money, more recognition, more experiences. But as Lao Tzu points out, this pursuit distances us from inner peace. He writes, "When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Imagine a life where there is no need to constantly stand out, to showcase success on social media, or to compete to be the best. Instead, we are invited to cultivate gratitude for what we already have. This practice of contentment frees us from the trap of comparison and helps us see the beauty in the present. Moreover, simplicity protects us from the dangers of excess. The more we possess, the more effort is required to maintain, protect, and grow those possessions. Lao Tzu observes, "The more wealth you possess, the harder it is to protect it." By reducing our desires and focusing on what is essential, we free ourselves from the unnecessary burden of managing excess. Simplicity allows us to reevaluate our priorities and live in harmony with the natural flow of life. When we choose simplicity, we are not only reducing stress, but also reconnecting with the essence of the Tao. A simple life helps us find balance, both internally and externally, enabling us to act in alignment with our deepest values. Adopting simplicity also helps us cultivate more authentic relationships. Instead of surrounding ourselves with people who reinforce our insecurities or feed our need for validation, we connect with those who share our values and support us on our journey of self-discovery. In a world that values haste and productivity at any cost, the idea of balance can seem outdated or even counterintuitive. However, Lao Tzu reminds us that living in harmony with the natural flow of life requires moderation and a conscious distancing from the culture of excess. He writes, "Those who stand on tiptoe are not steady. Those who rush cannot go far." These words encapsulate a truth that many ignore. Constant haste and the desire to achieve quickly can lead to exhaustion rather than bringing us closer to our goals. Instead of achieving stability, we become unbalanced, losing connection with ourselves and with what truly matters. The relentless effort to stand out, achieve, and optimize every area of life can push us beyond our own limits. We are constantly racing against time, trying to balance careers, relationships, health, leisure, and social media without ever truly finding time to reflect or rest. This quest to be the best traps us in a vicious cycle of self-sabotage, where stress and exhaustion become inevitable. Throughout this reflection, we have delved into the profound teachings of Lao Tzu. In a world that often pulls us toward excess and comparison, we have learned that true freedom lies in reconnecting with what is essential. Now, we want to hear from you. How have these ideas resonated with your life? What changes would you like to make to bring more tranquility into your daily routine? Share your reflections in the comments and share this text to inspire others. Don't forget to like. Together, we can spread this timeless wisdom and create a lighter, more harmonious life.